Well, I mean, I've been thinking about how how different life would be without me. I don't know, as long as I can remember. It's just one of those things. I'm really into hypotheticals, and that was just one of the things uh, that I kept up with. Just the money, the time, the energy, simple things like that. But then when direct scenarios come up that no one wants to go through and exist because I'm around, that's when I start thinking those thoughts. It's it's like no one would have had to go through me being, I don't know, being selfish or just, I don't know, stuff that made me feel like I was a bad person, and that I didn't have to put someone through what I put them through, and then wouldn't happen if I was around. It's stuff like that that leads me into other greater thoughts of just hypothetical after hypothetical. What if I wasn't around? Maybe maybe if instead of people spending their time on me, they could have been doing something like more productive. I would always call it just something that would actually mean something. So it was my idea when I was really feeling down to actually get therapy for myself. And I talked to my parents about it and they were on board, but of course my dad was like, if you ever want to talk about it, you can talk to me. And it's like it's it made me feel weird, honestly. It's really the therapy. It was just really something else to actively get you out of that mindset and tell you that that mindset is false and actually wasting your time more than anything. That's when it was bluntly put on me, and that's what I needed. Just some straightforward answer to stop making me come up with these hypothetical things that in turn would make it worse than me not being around anyway. Even if they were true, it's that self-loathing and all that unnecessary time you're spending putting yourself down. You really limiting yourself to the good you could be doing.
The first option that came up wasn't you need to get help or you need a therapist, because that pretty much wasn't an option. Because it's like in this family we're strong people and we help ourselves out of everything. And honestly, that did kind of help. I know it won't help everyone, but and I don't recommend that to everyone, but for me it did. I was able to help myself out of that by just constantly forcing myself to do things that were just kind of hard before. I actually went outside, just sit in the sun. Honestly, that minutely helped because hey, I didn't do much, but at least I experienced the outside today. At least I experienced how today was for other people and how the world progresses around me, not just locked in this room where nothing happens, nothing changes. And even though I'm getting older and nothing still nothing's getting done. But when outside things were. Outside watching people walk past me and drive past me and all that, and I constantly got the thought that the world functions outside of me and I have to place myself in it. I have to throw myself in it, like no matter how uncomfortable that makes me. And it was terrifying. It was really scary. That's kind of the thing with like depression and all that. It's like it's a very personal thing, and sometimes you just get lucky by getting out of it, and sometimes you work your butt off to get out of it too, and sometimes it's a mix of the two. One of the lowest points, I was just every time I had a second to myself or something, I would just be thinking about ways I could kill myself because I was just that miserable. And just one of the toughest things I've really had to face so far was just getting out of that. And it was around the time right after that worst point where I was starting to get out of it that I found something that I kind of wanted to do with my life and something I really wanted to put effort in and had like a real passion for, and that was making films and short movies and all that. And even if they wind up not being like the best things in the world or anything like that, it's like at least I can tell what I did with my days, and now my time just doesn't go to waste. I can actually kind of like go to sleep now without wondering how much time I wasted that day or how much time I'm going to waste tomorrow. And with these short films and writing with other people and just meeting a lot of people who just want to get creative with you, it's kind of just a really good feeling. And like through that whole talking and listening to myself a whole lot and seeing myself on the editing screen so much, it's kind of just helped me figure out who I am.